Welcome back to the Rich Eisen Show. This man is currently nominated for an Emmy for Outstanding Supporting Actor as he plays Doug Stamper in the fantastic Netflix series House of Cards. His movie Everest opens in theaters IMAX September 18th and then wide release on September 25th. Michael Kelly, good to see you, sir.
Thank you, sir.
Oh, you bet.
Pleasure. Good
to see you here. So you are from Georgia? You're originally from Georgia?
Yeah, well, I was born in Philly, but it was a very short little year, and then I grew up Atlanta.
Okay.
5th grade on.
Could you imagine what your sports viewing and spectating experience might be differently if you stayed in Philadelphia instead of...
I'm sure it would have been. I'm glad we moved to Atlanta, though.
Yeah,
that was a good place to grow up.
Sure. And so the Falcons are your team when it all comes down to it?
Falcons, Braves, Hawks, not so much. I mean, I'm a fan of the Hawks, but Falcons and Braves I love.
Because you're a good, Atlantonian? Is that what they call it? An Atlantan?
ATLian?
That's
what Outcast calls it, ATLian.
An ATLian? So what do you think of the Falcons' chances coming into this season, Michael?
I like it. I think they got a very strong chance to win the division. Kelvin Benjamin going down was a big... badly as I feel for the guy, I'm obviously happy for the Falcons.
Sure.
I think they're a great team. I love what Coach Quinn's bringing. I think that's going to be exciting.
Yeah.
He's got grit.
We had Julio Jones on the other day, and he said that he referred to him as DQ. And I thought to myself, well, wait a minute, are they serving ice cream in there? That was my first thought. But he referred to the coach as DQ. And he said that DQ showed the Madden movie trailer that he plays a superhero in to the team as sort of like just having fun. You know, and you hear that sort of thing, and it's unique because you don't, like, say, Tom Coughlin's not going to probably do that for the Giants. There's different ways to coach a team. But, it's a different era, I guess, in that respect.
Yeah, and you know, I loved Coach Smith. He was a great guy. But I just feel like this is what the team needed now, you know, and I think it's, you know, I've been reading about the playlist that he's doing at camp, and every day he's got different playlists, music that they...
Well, it's a Pete Carroll thing, I think. Pete Carroll does that up in Seattle, you know, like Song of the Day. He's bringing the Pete Carroll thing to Atlanta.
Pretty cool.
Well, certainly if it also involves bringing Lombardi Trophy.
Exactly. He's do whatever he wants.
You will take that. Michael Kelly is here on the Rich Eisen Show. Before we talk about Everest, I want to talk about House of Cards with you. Again, you play Doug Stamper, who is... I guess the lack of a better phrase, right-hand man, hatchet man in a way, fixer.
Heard him called a lot.
Right, of the main character, of Kevin Spacey's character in House of Cards. What has this experience been like for you,
Oh,
Michael?
man, I mean, it's really changed my life. You know, I mean, this was my... I have had a lot of breaks along the way, but this was certainly the biggest one. You know, before it would be if I walked down the street, someone would be like, "Hey, guy in that movie." You know, now it's like, "Stamper!"
Stamper.
You know, people scream across the streets. It's a different thing, and just to be able to work with these people, and then to get the Emmy nomination was just, I mean, unreal.
Yeah, well, and congratulations on that, and to be working with Kevin Spacey in these scenes, where it just seems like he's that guy, you know. But he's
also a really funny guy who does great impressions and just has a lot of fun on set. You know, we all come really ready. Fincher laid it down in the beginning. You know, David Fincher said everyone brings their A game and we're ready to work, so that when you do have a break, you're having a lot of fun. You know, because you're ready to
yeah, it's only fitting that the initials of his character are F.U., you know, Frank Underwood. You know, and I have watched the House of Cards, the British series on which this is based. And there are, I mean, even if you are watching this saying, well, this wouldn't happen in Washington, D.C., people wouldn't act this way, this is very true to the British series, because there's some nasty stuff that goes down in that British series that we see on House of Cards here.
Yeah,
you know?
And you know, yes, it certainly is not the way that DC operates, but on the same, on the flip side of that, I go to DC. I've been fortunate enough to go to the Correspondents' Dinner every year, and someone every year, many people come up to me every year, young staffers, and they're like, I know a guy just like you.
Is that right?
It's like, oh my God. I'm like, okay, maybe he didn't kill somebody, but I know a guy just like you. I'm like, Jesus God, this is what we're
I'm not going to go to sleep tonight now. Oh, my Lord. so this is really happening because my wife and I watch this, and I'm sure you've heard this too. We're sitting there and we know the episode's about to come to an end, and it comes to an end, and then the circle starts going in the bottom right part of the screen, and we sort of look at each other like, well, what time is it? Can we do another one of these?
One more.
We'll do another one of these. You know, and it's just suddenly we're 3 or 4 in. And it's not every show. You can't binge watch every show. Right. Not every show is made for it, but this one really is too. Yeah. You know, so congratulations on this. Everest. Tell me about this film and how you got into this and why people should go see it.
Well, I mean, I've seen a rough cut, and it is an incredible film. It's got all this great action, but at the same time, it's got this incredibly heartfelt story at the core of it. Mm-hmm. So it's got everything. It really does. But I got funny enough, the casting for me on this, I was in Baltimore doing House of Cards, and my manager called and said, hey, they want you to go on tape to play John Krakauer. Mm-hmm. And I was like, okay, do they want me to do Krakauer? And they're like, no, just they want you. And mm-hmm. I was like, oh, great, all right. They're like, the casting director said, bring as much of yourself to the character. So I just did it me, I was smiling and
sure.
I totally did like that, and I sent it in, and my agent called, and it was in London, the casting director, mm-hmm. and she called me like 2 days later, and she's like, so they said they want more Michael Kelly. Mm-hmm. And I was like, dude, I was 100% myself. I couldn't have been more myself.
Right.
And she's like, I know, I watched the tape, I don't get it. And like a half hour passed, and I called her back, and I was like, you know what, I've never met this casting director before. She's talking about what I always play, which is that guy who never smiles, who just
right.
like
just stares into space and makes you fearful of yourself and your entire family. Yes, that one, sure.
So I redid it, sent it in, and then I got the offer. So that was a funny.
So what must people think of you, Michael?
I know,
Kelly?
right? Yeah,
what people think of you? They think you're some sort of cold-blooded guy. Yeah.
Step into an elevator with people.
Yeah, that's right. And suddenly you're going to be in a car, locked in a garage with the motor running, and then all of a sudden nothing's good coming out of it.
A white van.
Michael Kelly is here at Michael J. Kelly Jr. on Twitter. So, and again, this is about the Krakauer book back in 1996 about the air.
Yeah, and it's just, it was an incredible, just true story of mm-hmm. these guys that went up a mountain, and it was before a lot of the technology would tell us exactly about weather. They didn't have all of it, and they didn't have the proper oxygen and it just was the early pioneering days of commercial expeditions, and it just, the perfect storm hit, and they weren't ready. They weren't ready. And they knew exactly where they were, and there was nothing they could do.
Josh Brolin's in this.
Fantastic. So great.
Jake Gyllenhaal's in this, right?
Jason Clarke, John Hawkes, Robin Wright.
Now, Robin Wright's in this too.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. So little mini reunion in a way.
This is our third thing we've done together.
What's the other thing?
Unbreakable. Unbreakable was with Bruce Willis and Sam Jackson back in the day.
A little M. Night Shyamalan
we didn't have any scenes
situation.
together, but
Okay. See, it's meant to be. It's meant to be. And John Hawkes is in one of my other favorite shows from Deadwood. He was in Deadwood.
We were just talking about.
We've got a Deadwood hat here. He's one of the only missing signatures that we have up there.
I might be able to help you with that.
See,
he's
I
a
like
good
that.
guy.
I like that. Before I let you go, who was when growing up in Atlanta when you are watching either football, baseball? Who was your guy when you're growing up? Who would you say that's my sports guy?
I mean,
when it all comes down to it, Michael.
Very, very, actually, cool story. Dale Murphy was my neighbor his first year with the Braves.
What do you mean?
He lived down the street from our family in Atlanta, and
so he's borrowing a cup of sugar from the Kellys.
No, but I got to get to play wiffle ball with him a couple of times in his backyard. He's a really good man. And of course, his second year he moved out of our neighborhood to a nicer neighborhood. Okay. but no, I'd say growing up that Chipper Jones was my guy. We're probably roughly the same age, and so my whole time was following Chipper.
And the Braves with Glavine and
Bobby
Smoltz.
Cox and
they're all in the Hall.
Chipper's
soon to go there.
Totally.
Hall of Famer, Chipper Jones. Hey, look, congratulations on all your success. So if I just can sum everything up, go see Everest. You want to see it on IMAX, it comes out on the 18th.
Yep.
You just want to see it. It comes out wide release September 25th. When does House of Cards come back?
I would assume the same late February, early March.
Okay.
Of this year.
Shoot?
We're about halfway done with the season 4 right now.
You are in the midst of shooting.
We're filming right now.
Okay.
Yeah.
Is there anything you can let slip? Anything?
No, I'll get killed.
Okay. Well, not on the show, hopefully.
There would be a
Not on
Doug
the show.
Stamper that would show up somewhere.
Okay, good.
Well, we know Doug makes it halfway through the season.
Well,
Maybe if he's halfway through shooting.
Here we go. You're here.
What is it?
He says at least we know you've made it halfway through the season as your character.
Yeah,
we know that. So at least we've got
point.
that
I'm probably
going.
in trouble for that.
Absolutely. And we also know that you are a happy, smiling guy. And then when casting directors over in London, because this show is available due to our NFL Now app overseas, this Michael Kelly that we are seeing right now, that's the you, not the Doug Stamper, for crying out loud.
Thank
Okay,
God.
let's leave that aside. Thanks for coming on, man. Please come back anytime, and good luck with that Emmy.
Thank you.
Good luck with that Emmy.
Thank you very much.
Go see, again, Everest, September 18th to 25th, depending on the manner in which you care to see this film. A House of Cards as well on Netflix. Michael Kelly, thanks for coming on the show.
The Rich Eisen Show, weekdays at noon Eastern. On Audience.